I'm Zev. I'm a rising junior at SAR High School, and this is the third milestone video for my gesture-controlled RC car. For the third milestone, my goal was to establish a wireless link between the two Arduinos that I have, one, the flex sensors, and two, the car. And I used the NRF modules here to establish that wireless link. So first what I had to do was, starting from what I have in my second milestone video, with all the flex sensors in one Arduino, I had to separate the flex sensors and all their wires into another Arduino, and this Arduino Nano right here, and I also had to plug in the NRF modules into each Arduino. I also had to separate, I had one big code controlling the car with my gestures, and I had to separate out those codes because I had one part of the code going to one Arduino and then another part of the code going to the other Arduino. So the way it works is I gave the job of interpreting the values of the flex sensors to the Arduino Nano, so I wouldn't have to send those values over. So this Arduino reads the values of the flex sensors, and then with a series of if and else if statements, it interprets those values, and based on the different gestures, it sends directions directly to the car. And those directions are in the form of text, so it'll say stop, forward, backwards, left, or right. And then I send that text over to this Arduino, and that code executes those directions. So if I'm going right, I can go like this. And if I'm going left, I can go like that. So the challenges of this milestone there were a lot of problems that came up when I had to transfer the wires from each Arduino to the other, and also there were a lot of specific pins that were necessary to hook up the NRF module that I had to replace and switch out for the flex sensors and the LEDs and the motor driver on this side. And there were also a lot of pieces of code that I had to delete from each side of the communication, and there were some codes that I forgot to take out and some codes that I had in there unnecessarily, and there were some overlapping pins that caused a lot of different issues. But after a while and taking a step back and looking at it from a different perspective, I was able to figure out all those problems and get rid of them. So the next step is to finish the final assembly of the project, so fasten everything to the car in an attractive way, and put all the flex sensors into the glove. And my final goal for the project is actually to build a PCB, or design one, that will maybe take care of this mess of wires on each side, and after that I can just do some modifications.